welcome back to a new era / rebuilding the Invincibles with Arsenal and Football Managers 2019, and we're in season 3 now. This is episode 1, although I guess you could kind of call it series 3 episode 0. I don't know what I'll do when I release it, but there's not going to be a game today, there's not going to be any comment, it's just going to be literally what we've gone through since the end of last season. So ironically, last time out we had, I think, Burnley last game of the season. They stopped us winning the title. They open us up this season. We won't be playing them today. Unless time goes well, we won't be playing them today. Avoid this team use item because you can see some of the players I've signed. A bit of a bad screen to come on. But today is just going to be all about ins and outs, transfers made. So we're going to move over to the Sky Sports News Centre, Transfer Centre right now. Now we start with the ins. This guy, Jonathan Gonzalez, he actually made, this is the signing we made last season, so it's before the last episode. We'd already had this guy coming in. I don't remember if we touched upon it at all. 3-star centre midfielder. We're training him as a centre midfielder, but he can play the defensive midfielder if we need it, and if we switch to a more Unai Emery kind of role, it may be something we can utilise. But I've sent him out on loan to Leverkusen. We've made a lot of transfers this window, and I just feel that he's probably not going to get as much game time as maybe we need. He signs from Monterrey for 8.75. He's gone to Leverkusen in Germany. I expect him to play a lot of games there. I've asked him to play him as centre midfielder. I don't think they're going to. He's now worth 27.5 million. He's on 60 grand a week. They're not paying any of it. They've had a bit of a bargain in that deal. He looks very good. I think we can recall him if we need him. Cannot be terminated. Can be recalled. So they can't end it, but we can. So that's good. It's good to know. If he gets to 5 international caps, he's going to go on 98 grand a week. He's only 2 away. I let my director of football arrange contracts. Maybe that's not such a good idea, but on to the next signing. So this is another one that we knew about. I had put the bid in at the end of last season. We basically did an unsettling job on him. We made him unhappy. We got him down from them wanting 120 odd million for him or something over different clauses and whatnot. It's down for 25 million, pretty much all in. 44 grand a week. Our director of football's got him down to. So that's a decent one. Has he got a wage rise or appearance or anything like that? No, some good loyalty bonuses and achievement bonuses, which I'm happy with because it gives them drive to go and do it. He's only 3-star at the moment, but he's got 4 to 5-star potential ability, and I think he's going to fit in that left wing role, left midfield role very, very well. Inverted winger, which is what we play there. It's absolutely fantastic. He's had an average pre-season, but I mean, to be fair, we have, and I've let the assistant manager run all of it. I've just been running through, doing transfer business essentially. So here, how's he been doing? He hasn't actually been featuring at Dortmund all that much, really. Obviously not quite as good on this level of the game as what he probably is now on a new patch. This is obviously going back to the beta. This is a save I started in the beta, so maybe wasn't quite so sure he was going to be, but his stats and his attributes look very, very good. I think he'll do just fine. Okay, so we also signed this guy in, and then we've loaned him straight back to Sunderland. They're our affiliate, they're now in the Championship. Centre defender, we just happen to be looking at Paris FC in whatever division they're in, Liga 2, Liga 2 now rather. So we signed him for 850k, which I think is a steal. He's expected to be quite good. Poor technique at the moment, suited to League 1. We've loaned him to Championship, so if he gets a good run there, I think he'll be quite good. I think he's a first teamer. Professional individual, works well in a team, potential for Premier League, good at marking, all that sort of stuff. If we need to, we can train him as a defensive midfielder. If maybe his way of game seems to go more towards that, I'm not too sure. Already worth £1.5 million. Yeah, good tackling, good marking, good heading, 6'3", positioning 15, teamwork 16, determination 12. There's a lot of good things there I like, and I think he, obviously if we keep this save going long enough, but I've just brought him in for the future, but I don't know if we'll be going that far into the game to ever actually see him. But Alexandre Mathieu, welcome to the club. Now this one I am ecstatic about. I think it was FM16, 17, maybe 18 last year. Yeah, 18 last year. I think I signed him for Arsenal on my offline save, and he was just godlike. He is out for a day. He's got pulled knee ligament, so he will be back soon, but he won't be there today. 3-star current, 4 to 5.5 potential, and I think this guy is mainly brought in. He can play any of the roles up front, really. We're going with 2 strikers this year. That's hence why we've got rid of some of the attacking midfielders and that sort of thing. We brought in a few more strikers. William Goebbels, yeah, he was Lyon on FM19, I believe. That's where I signed him from anyway. He's gone to Monaco for 18. We brought him in for 24. He's a wonder kid. I mean, they were at one point again demanding like the earth for him. We unsettled him. He seemed to want to come as well. I think we sent Guendouzi to have a word with him. I think someone else from the squad had a word with him as well, and he just struck up a deal. They took a lower bid for him. In he comes, and he's just I'm very excited for this guy over the course of the season. He very dynamic, good dribbling, good finishing, good pace, good acceleration, passing's decent, technique, work rate, determination, everything you want. There's not a stat. I mean, if you take long throws and marking and defending ones out, positioning maybe a little bit desired. So let's maybe see if we can whack a bit of positioning on him. Is that more of a mental? Is that more of a mental kind of thing you learn? It might well be. Yeah, I think it is. But he's not back from. He's not back training yet anyway. He's not back yet training anyway. So that's William Goebbels into the club for a decent amount of money. The next one is Ryan Sessegnon. I think we identified him pretty early on as a player we wanted to bring in. Long-term left back, could play left midfield as well if we need him to. He's not a wonder kid. He's a winger. He's only 2.5 star at the moment, but he's English as well, which is a big thing. We've got the Brexit. We've got is 17 foreigners maximum in the team, so I need to move as many of those out and bring English players in where I can. Can't go too silly on the foreign players. And 10 million, what an absolute steal. Did the same thing again. We made him a little bit unhappy. They wanted a lot more. Made him unhappy. Just wielded our power. And in he comes. Great pace, ability to cross. Good Premier League winger. Fairly ambitious. Physical player. Suited to Championship at the moment. And heading could be worked on. But I mean, they're looking at him. Let's have a look at him as a left back. He's third best left back, which is about right. But I think our left backs have only got 3 stars. I think we should be getting better than that. But they are very good. I think that's a bit undermining of them, and their attributes and their performances and their average ratings defy what that is saying. I mean, I guess that's in comparison to the rest of the league. I mean, there's probably some amazing left backs of world football in this league right now. They're maybe not quite the top 2, but they're doing what they need. One of them is probably at Man City, and they're coming like 7th and 8th. So yeah, screw that. Contractually, he's got league games, that sort of thing. Yeah, nothing to own. 31 grand a week. So yeah, he's in the club. I'm very excited by it. As you can see, we haven't sold any of the 2 left backs that we mentioned. So Kolasinac and Kazawa are still here. An interesting news story that has come. The transfer deadline day is gone now. Man City came in right at the death, pushing for Bellerin, offering terrible money. At first one, we pushed it up to 120, like speculative, seeing what we could get. They weren't happy with it, and then he's come out saying he wants to go because he wants the money. What a mercenary. We'll maybe give him another year. It left us too late to get someone better. He's homegrown as well, I think. So yeah, we didn't have time to get anyone. I wasn't ready in for someone at right back. And right back actually is a position I probably should have been thinking about. But for this year, it wasn't. Midfield, striker, and a few young players, that sort of thing. Where I was looking, right back, I thought we were fine. Although if not ideally matching the Laurent kind of blueprint, Bellerin. But it is what it is. We'll maybe see if we move him on next year. If we can move him back to Barcelona, that'd be even better. Not in the Premier League, that'd be ideal. Another big signing is Amadou Diawara. This is the guy who's coming primarily to fill the Patrick Vieira kind of role. 51 million he's valued at, 110k a week. He is world-class midfielder, comes from Napoli. We have signed him for 53 million. I'm sure there's some other clauses in there as well. Started at San Marino, interestingly, went to Bologna. Excuse me, and then a couple of years ago went to Napoli for 11.75. He's done okay for them. Let's go back. Don't you see that? Some reports. He's third best midfielder. He's behind Aaron Ramsey. Okay. Well, where is El Neni in that list? Because he hasn't gone anywhere either. Just a little spoiler alert. Good player for most Premier League. Potentially be leading. Strength and stamina. That's what I was looking at in this player in this role. Strength and stamina. Box to box. Getting. I mean, we might not play him as a box to box, but someone who can do that and just be like Vieira. You know, someone who's happy to put a dirty tackle in on the edge of our box as he is to lash one in from the edge of theirs. Good balance, natural composition. So again, he can play centre back. A bit further forward, I think, if we need to. Wayward when crossing, that's fine. He's not going to cross. And peripheral figure in a squad, that will change. He's only just joined, but important player, can still improve. 3.5 star, 4 star potential. I'm very happy with him. 23 years old. Played a lot of games for Guinea. Anything in here? No, just loyalty bonuses, that sort of stuff. So So a good deal there for him. So we have brought another Englishman in. It's Reece Oxford from West Ham. They played very hard ball with him. They weren't happy about it, so we had to go in again, make him unhappy, unsettle him. It seemed to work. He can play libero as well, which is interesting, which I quite like. We had another player put forward to us who can play libero, and I was tempted with it, but if it was my Carl Shorten save, I'd be very, very tempted to try something out, and maybe a bit late, a few years in, but with this Arsenal save, you know, we're trying to replicate a certain thing, Emery style or the Invincibles of, you know, the 4-4-2 era under Wenger. That doesn't really fit. He's got 8 caps for England already. Okay, interesting. 3-star, current potential to be sort of 3 to 4, but I think he's better than that. They wanted at the World, we sent some players out to unsettle him. We put him in, you know, top target, all that usual stuff to unsettle someone. It worked, and we got him in the end for 35 with a few extra add-ons, I think, for, yeah, so there's I think it was international caps, stuff like that, goals as well, I think, which after you get so many goals we'll pay him like 5 million, I think it was. I think it's after 30 goals, 5 million. I mean, if he gets 30 goals, I'll be happy to shell out that 5 million, but I don't think he will. Playing centre back, he might nick a couple from corners and stuff, who knows. But he's played in the European Championships as well for England this summer, so that's interesting to see. So that's where he's got most of his caps from, I'd imagine. So he got called up maybe late, not playing much of the qualification. Decent season for West Ham last year. We don't need to look at the Premier League. Bournemouth currently sits top, which is, yeah, cool fact. Yeah, so a good signing, Reece Oxford. I'm very happy to bring him in. Yeah, great signing. Now the final signing, this was one I'd made. I'd put in a bid already. I think I was waiting on someone else or looking for something a bit else, and this deal was going through. Dortmund went in. I wasn't going for him. Dortmund put a bid in for him, and his name's so similar to Romero as well, Maximiliano. I wasn't going to put a bid in for him, but Dortmund came in, and he was still someone that was in the back of my mind, the periphery of my mind. Someone I wanted to, you know, could play a Bergkamp role. He's got good dribbling, good finishing, good first touch. All the stuff he's a more natural deep line forward. He can do the lot, and he's been at Celta Vigo, and he's played one game this season. Obviously that was when we were coming through to us, so maybe not head's gone as that was it. What was his name? Darren Fletcher. I can't remember his name. The guy who played for Wolves, Fletcher, Scottish guy, Stephen Fletcher maybe. He was a bit of a wonder kid on the old FMs, wasn't he? Head's gone, but last season 14 in 31, 10 in 30, 18 in 36. For a team, you've got to remember, that aren't the top echelons of Spanish football. They might well be now, be doing okay with his performances, contributing, but it's, you know, it's a good sign. Pasandu, which a team that I know that Cleon is very interested in. I think he's doing something with them at the moment. I've been a little bit off on blogs and stuff recently. Time has been a little bit, even for Annie, even watching YouTube and stuff and doing YouTube has been a bit stretched. So yeah, try and catch up on that soon. I'm sure he's either doing it or he's did it before and he's looking at bringing it back, something like that. But I'll catch up at some point. I love reading Cleon's work. Absolute god at Football Manager, and if you want to learn anything, go and check out his Team Busquets blog. Fantastic. He went from there to Defensor in Uruguay, eventually getting snapped up by Celta Vigo. We've then paid 20 million for him flat out, and I think he'll do good. 100 grand a week. What is our director of football playing at? If he gets 20 goals this season, he'll get 220. Again, if he does that, I'll be absolutely delighted. But we've got options now. We've got some young players. We've got some more. I mean, he's still 23. He's not young. He's not old, is he? But we've got some more players that've been a bit more around the block, a little bit more. He's got 2 negatives. He may lack support as a result of not being part of his social group. Well, he's got Torreira, who's Uruguayan, and he's got just Torreira, I think. But he's got him in there. Opposes the manager, despite very good support overall from the dressing room. Okay. Not too sure what that's about. We're gonna praise his conduct, see if that helps at all. No, not at the moment. Maybe it will in time as we get some relationship with his manager. We haven't said 2 words to each other. we haven't said 2 words to each other, so I don't know what's going on with that. Absolutely bizarre. And I keep pressing back onto the full transfer screen list, and I'm trying not to give too much away. But that's the ins. Let's now look at the outs. So Vecino, we knew that was a deal that was struck last season. He's gone to Leicester. They're in the Championship actually. They went down, so he's playing quite well for them, but he's not going to be affecting us. I wonder if he knew he was going to a team that was getting relegated when he signed for them. I think we did the deal between the January and the May, so they must have known he must have known there was a chance. But the way that he's playing, and I guess potentially they are playing their first year, they'll probably be coming straight back up. So yeah, good luck to him. So we did sell Callum Chambers. He went to Watford, and are they in the Championship as well? I think they're in the Championship as well. No, they're not. They're in the Premier League. So we sold him for £12 million. He played 7 games last year. He played a bit more the season before. That was on loan at Fulham, of course. Yeah, he stepped in when we needed him, but we didn't need him that often. The only thing I had was that he was English, but I had a feeling we could get better. As soon as Reece Oxford was becoming a bit of a deal, it was kind of a protracted deal, Reece Oxford, but I took the chance on getting rid of Callum Chambers early on. I don't think he was quite good enough. So yeah, we wish him well at Watford, and I'm sure he will do quite well. I'm only going to feature the big names. We've had a lot of young players go and a few fringe players go, that sort of thing. Players that weren't really involved in the team or the save throughout the game, as I'm just kicking my daughter's toys that are scattered across the floor at the moment. So yeah, Rafinha's gone to Monterrey, which is is it Mexico or Uruguay? Mexico, yeah. So we signed him for 13.75. We get 2 seasons out of him, sell him for 14.75 at a profit. That's not too bad. He was always injured. He's a good player, but with the dropping of the attacking midfielder role as well, he was always going to be someone that suffered. He's 27 years old. He's already dropped in value. I mean, he'll do well for them, I'm sure, if he stays fit. But we couldn't have someone like that around the club that we just couldn't rely on. So off he goes. So Lacazette did go, and he's gone to Everton. 29 years old now. He just wasn't quite good enough for us, and his head was going where he wasn't playing a lot. He's played 3 games in the Europa League for them, and he's done okay without scoring. A few of these, and this is one of them, we are paying some of his wage. 45 grand a week of it, of his 54 grand a week, but only for 2 years. So we just needed the money up front, the transfer money up front. So that was the main thing. They haven't played yet, so he's playing today, I assume, making his debut. But a big loss on him. We had a bit of use out of him last year. He just wasn't at the boil. So yeah, we moved him on, and we wish him well. Again, in real life, I love Lacazette. Him and Aubameyang, absolutely fantastic. So speaking like Harry Redknapp up there, but yeah, in this variation of the Arsenal world, wasn't quite up to standard. We did get a buy for Mesut Ozil. He's only on 86 grand a week. He was on like 300 something with us, I think. But Inter came in. I think we might be playing some of his wages as well. Yeah. What the hell? Is he on more? But they're paying 86. We're paying 175. But again, we just had to get the money up front and in. But no one was willing to pay his full wage. When are we paying it until 2021? Only for a season. That's absolutely fine. We get £46 million for him. Someone who's 31. We paid 42.5. Got a good few years out of him. He did well for us, but maybe not quite setting the world on fire. And I think now we're going to switch to that 2-striker system, which I think is the majority of the plan for the season. I think, yeah, he was a bit like Arsenal under Emery at the moment. He's a bit of a passenger, and he's an expensive passenger. We can't be having that. So yeah, he moves on his way. He's doing okay so far, but I'm sure he might do well in Italy. I don't know the way their football's played. Maybe he might do well. He might be restricted. We don't know. At 31 years of age now as well. He's on the twilight. So, but good luck to him. Again, real life love Ozil. Wish him well. Now the board aren't too happy about this one. I think more the money that we got for him rather than the actual deal itself. Again, he was someone who was a little bit injury prone. A bit more in the twilight of his career now. Actually, technically, probably in his prime actually. But are we paying his wage as well? 12 grand a week for a year. But he's gone to Sampdoria, which is I love. I mean, historically, I love Sampdoria. I love the badge, the kit. I remember watching Arsenal play them in the Cup Winners' Cup back in '94, I think, when they had Lombardo, Platt. Did they have Baggio in that team? I can't remember. I was very, very young. I was 12 if it was '94. There was a couple of years before that. I think we were in. I used to watch some of my little 14-inch. No, it probably wasn't 14-inch, but like 10-inch portable TV in my bedroom with a really bad aerial reception. Just trying to watch the Arsenal games that were on, I don't know, was it like Channel 4 or something? I don't even remember what channel it was. But we signed him for 28.5. We sold him for 15.5. But he's going back to Italy, and so far playing very well. No goals or assists, but I'm sure at Sampdoria he will do very, very well. And again, he was a good servant for us when we needed him. Yeah, we wish him well again. More of a fringe player, but I think we talked about him at the end of last season. Were we going to keep him? No, we sold him. We don't play this role anymore. He wasn't good enough for this one. He wasn't going to be good enough for either of them anyway when he came back, I don't think. So when we put him up for transfer, Rostov came in. They paid 7.5 for him. Absolutely fine with that. He didn't shine on any of his loans at all, so I thought that was a worthy one. Let's have a look at these academies actually. I always like to look at these kind of academies and clubs when they pop up in players' profiles, but nothing there today. So yeah, he moves on his way. We'll be interested to see how he gets on, but yeah, he's already dropped down to 6 million. I don't think he'll estimate too much in the game, unfortunately. Danny Welbeck has left the club. He's gone to Stoke, who I think are still in the Championship. Are they still in the Championship? Oh, they're in the Premier League. Okay. So we sold him for 16.25, so we still made a profit on him. He didn't play at all last year. His game time dwindled a lot. He was back up left midfielder for a while, but when Smith Rowe and Reece Nelson come back last season, he was surplus to requirements. Although he's English, yeah, we had no space for him. Hopefully we're not paying his wages. 37 grand a week for 2 years, fantastic. Hopefully if they get relegated, his wage will drop down and we'll pay less. Hopefully that's how it works. But yeah, off he goes, Danny Welbeck. So that's all the transfers. What we're going to do now, we're going to look at the loans. Because there's a few loans that have gone out, so we'll just take a look at them. So yeah, Matt Hughes gone to Sunderland like we knew. Bielik has gone to Lech Gdansk in Poland, so he's gone back to Poland. Jordi Osei-Tutu, who could be a good young player for us, young right back. He's doing quite well, so we've sent him on loan to Blackburn in the, I assume, Championship. Yeah, doing quite well in the Championship. We sent him there. One game, done okay so far. Played a few games in friendlies and stuff and done alright. He could be okay. He could make it, we don't know. Currently operating League 1, potential to be Premier League player. So if he does well for Blackburn, good pace, all that sort of stuff, he could come in as a backup maybe for, well, Bellerin or whoever replaces Bellerin. We've got Maitland-Niles up in there as well, young player. So that'd be an interesting one to see if he comes back. Zelalem gone on loan to Sunderland. We tried selling him. No one was biting. No one really wanted him. So I don't know if Sunderland came in for him or we sent him to affiliate. I think they come in for him. I don't think we even did that. They just come in for him, so off he goes. Same with him. Pleguezuelo, he's not good enough. No one came in for him. Sunderland may have come in for him, or we did. He's starting to look, his attributes are picking up a little bit, but complaining of Barrow as well. But maybe he is quite good. Is he transfer listed? No, he's not. Maybe it's not him I'm thinking of. Maybe it's someone else I'm thinking of. But he's not transfer listed. We got him out on loan. He's gone to Sunderland. So a good season in the Championship. Some of these are playing their loans for their careers. Joe Willock has gone on loan to Millwall, who are actually in the Premier League. They got promoted. In fact, were they in there last year? Did they survive? I think we might have played them last season. Yeah, I think that rings a bell actually. Let's see how they... history... 4th in the Championship last season. No, okay. 2nd in the Championship, just gone. Yeah, no, so they weren't in it last season. I don't know what I was thinking. But they've been promoted. And he was on Stoke last season. Did okay. He's doing okay so far in the Premier League for Millwall. I don't know how they got in that first game, but that's where he is. And again, someone else who's playing for a chance to get back into this team. And he could well do it if he lives up to his, up to his potential. He's at Championship level, so he's a bit better than some of the others already. Darren Rogers, he's someone I'm very excited about. The scouts rave him a lot. Could improve a lot. He's got a lot of happy stuff on his reports. A few weaknesses, but he could be. He's already looking very good. I think he came through at 15, 16, pretty much with those attributes. So keep an eye on him. He's gone to Sunderland as well. I think they come in for him again. So they've loaned a lot of our players. I think they've loaned 2 wingers actually. No. Centre back, centre midfielder, right midfielder. Okay, we've got Tyrese John Jules, striker, has gone to Reading. Not sure if he's going to make it, but he's doing alright in the Championship. 3 goals in 3. He's actually got some good pace. Actually, he's got some decent bits there. Actually, 19 years old, potentially 4-star. Okay, so if he has a good season, he could be someone that maybe comes in a bit fringe next year. Obviously, we've signed some young players, young strikers this season, so. Bit of a tricky one. We might be walking back into a bit of a minefield. Mavropanos has gone to Hamburg. I felt he just needed some game time this year. We signed Reece Oxford, we've got Holding, Socrates, Sule. There are 4 guys. If we've got a few young guys in reserve, he needs football. We don't want him just playing sort of 2-3 games here. He played 7 times last year. He played well, but we need him to play a lot. So that's why he's gone to Hamburg, and we'll keep an eye on him very, very carefully, because I think he's got a future here. Jonathan Gonzalez obviously went to Leverkusen. We know about that. We discussed that. Xavier Amiachi, he's gone to Birmingham on loan. Again, someone the scouts, the coaches and staff, etc. Very, very happy with and very interested in. He's got some good attributes again. Good pacey winger, passing. Maybe needs some work, dribbling, that sort of stuff. Dribbling's okay. So a few bits, but he's played 3 games Championship, doing okay. He was at Millwall last year, only played the 1 game for them, and it was a decent game to be fair. But yeah, another one to keep an eye on this year. Again, maybe playing for a chance to get here, even if he doesn't get back in the team next year. Maybe another loan next year, just to keep progressing, and maybe when he's 2021 he can maybe force his way in. We'll see. Guendouzi's gone on loan again, so Leverkusen have got 2 centre midfielders from us. That would be a good centre midfield if we get Leverkusen in the Champions League, if we can. I don't know if they can even play against us, but he's a tireless midfielder. He was one that I was toying with keeping. Good season last year for Lorient, but I think just with who we brought in, yeah, we had to keep an eye. And Valencia have signed Smith Rowe on loan, who's still a wonder kid. He can be recalled if I need to, which I may need to. So it's something to keep an eye on. He's gone there for loan. I felt again he just needed a few more games than what he got with us last year. He's better than that. He's a wonder kid. He needs to be playing, and they're offering him first team football as Reece Nelson as well, wonder kid as well. Just needs to be playing. He only played probably about the same. He played a bit more actually. He played 20 games, but not consistent enough to really do much. So I thought we'll give him a bit of loan time. We've got Iwobi can cover both sides if we need it. We've got Paqueta can cover the right if we need it, I think. We've got some young guys floating around I think we can do it with as well, and a few of the players we brought in can do it as well. So yeah, that is the end of the transfer window, and that's the end of the episode. So next time we're going to face Burnley in the first opening game of the season. Actually, do we do Burnley? We're not going to do Burnley. We're not, because Burnley was the last episode for last season. It's going to be 2 Burnley episodes, not quite back to back. There's one breaking it up in the middle, but we need to do something different. I'm going to do Huddersfield. Oh, Man United. We'll do Man United. We'll come back from Man United. So it's going to take me a few more days to play that through probably, because I've got a long way to go on my Cole Shorten to get that up to date as well, and keep that ticking by. Arsenal is pretty much February, and some of March is already scheduled in, so they're already recorded. And obviously, as you're hearing this, that's irrelevant. It's all past. It's all old news. But yeah, we'll come back for the United game, and then at some point we'll get a Champions League draw maybe in there, around there somewhere as well. All starting to gather pace around this sort of point onwards. So yeah, we'll play those first couple of games. You can have a quick look at the pre-season if you want. We did okay. Bit of a tour of the US. That was our affiliate. Lazio as well. Chuck that in there. Good, a 1-0 win there, but some not overly impressive performances against some teams, but a lot of them were still bedding in and stuff like that and getting fitness back. So the assistant manager run them all as well. So God knows what he was up to. But yeah, we'll come back for that Man United game, and hopefully we'll have 3 wins under our belt at that point, and on course for an invincible season, which is what we're gunning for. Excuse the pun with the gunning. I don't think we'll do it first season, but we're certainly building a team towards that end. But yeah, enjoy today's episode. Please drop a like down below. If you're new to the channel, drop a sub while you're there. And if you want to drop any comments as well, what do you think of the signings we've made? Do you think we can go invincible this season? Is it close to completion? Maybe one or two more windows. Can we do that? Let me know in the comments down below, and if there's anyone in particular of the signings you're looking forward to seeing. Maybe some of the players we've let go, would you maybe have done something different? Would you maybe have kept hold of some of them? Yeah, so let me know. Until next time for the United game, I'll see you later. Take care.